Hi Taurus, this is Kacee with your Love Matters reading for March. If you're a new viewer, welcome. And if you're a repeat viewer, thank you for coming back and tuning in. We love to have you. Please check for Shae's reading on this channel, as she will be uploading a video for you as well. And we do have other videos on our channel, so please check for those. As this is a general reading, my hopes is that you resonate with something in the message and it helps you throughout the month. This reading will encompass all your different relationships, so it may resonate with a relationship with a family member, a co-worker, relationship with self and or spirit, and of course a romantic situation. So we will see what the messages are as we start to pull some tarot for you. The first card I'm going to pull is going to be your overall energy for the month, and we are going to start with the Nine of Swords. Your alternate energy that you're dealing with is the Hangman. Now, if this reading turns out to be something to do with relationship with self and or spirit, both of these energies are going to reflect your energies for the month. We are going to pull a couple of emotion cards for you. Now, when you come in with the Nine of Swords energy, that is usually where you're feeling very overwhelmed mentally, and you are kind of worrying about a lot of things. This is kind of where you're putting yourself in this worry zone and you're doing it kind of to yourself, but it does resonate with a lot of maybe depression, anxiety, lack of clear thinking. You're overthinking on a lot of things. Your emotion cards coming in here are new beginnings and financial and material changes. The Hanged Man is all about letting go, sacrifices. It's restrictions as well, because sometimes when we go through our sacrifices, we do restrict ourselves from doing something that we may want to do or we're being asked to do that we're saying no. So keep that in mind. The new beginnings and the material and financial changes is a wonderful card. Aries just had that financial material changes card, and there's a lot of beautiful things coming in that are going to change for you in the positive. So if you're dealing with an Aries by chance, you may want to cross-watch that video, because they also had new beginnings as well. Healer of the Ages is a surrounding energy, and that represents source. And we have strategy as well. And that also says journal log right there in the center, so keep that in mind. Now, when you have the Healer of the Ages, this is telling me that you are being very protected by the angels and your spirit team. They're working very hard to keep things balanced for you. The strategy is where you're going to really have to think outside of the box. This is where you're going to have to put down and write down, which is indicated where it says journal. Write down your thoughts, write down where you want to be. Actually make a journal of your journey so that you can stay on track and that you can stay away from this anxiety-based energy, because when you put things down on paper, A, you don't forget them, and B, it actually helps you get a little bit more clearer mentally when you have a lot of challenges and changes coming to you. Your challenge for the month is authority. Now, when I see this card, this is kind of like the High Priest or the Hierophant card. And this could relate to maybe religion, groups, conforming to a situation or society, transitions, beliefs and traditions. So this is a very solid, authoritative card. This is where all your core beliefs are, or that's what is surrounding you, is the beliefs of others that are very, very strong. So as this happens to be your challenge, you may be dealing with someone that has very strong beliefs as to how things should go, and you may not agree with them, or vice versa, Taurus. It all depends. Now here we have heartache and loss. So when we have that as the advice card, that is telling me that sometimes you have to let go of a lot of things in order to make room for the new things that are coming in. So if you have to walk away from something or someone that's no longer serving you in order for you to better yourself, that's where you will stop feeling the anxiety. You know, if you have a friend that is no longer on the same page with you and you feel that you need to put some distance between the two of you because you have a new beginning coming on, you have some new places to go and places to be, and they've been with you for a while, they're your strength and they're your source, but you're not on the same page anymore, that could be where you're feeling the heartache and the loss. I don't feel like this is a personal relationship so much as letting go of some beliefs that you thought were really solid and now you're finding out that they're not, and that may have to do with some kind of spiritual journey for you. So keep that in mind. This to me is more of a spiritual journey, I think, because of the authoritative figure there in the heartache and loss right underneath it, but you have new beginnings and financial and material changes. This is where I think that you're going to blossom as you move forward and you release some things that you have learned that you really realize now that they don't apply to you right now. They worked for you in the past, but they're not working for you now. And your outcome card here is suffering in silence, and you have bing, bang, boom. So you're not really talking about how you're feeling about all these changes. If this is a personal relationship and this is changing in a manner that you're not prepared for, and that's where you're feeling stuck and in suspension because you feel like you have to sacrifice something. You know, when you do sacrifice something, please know that you're doing it for your best interest and you are being surrounded by the angels. Also know that you do have new beginnings. As you release one thing, another thing will come in. So this may not be something you need to have in your life right now. If this happens to be a person, please keep note that as we go through our own journeys and we rise to the next level in our vibrations, sometimes we have to walk away from certain people, and you both need to grow separately so that if you meet up again in the future, you're more in tune with each other. So please keep that in mind, that if you need to take a break from a situation in order to regain your balance, then you do that for you, because self-care is paramount and you really need to make sure that you take care of yourself. Now I'm going to do a couple little clarifying cards here for you just to see if that adds to the message. Taurus, I really think that you should take the time for yourself and know that you're divinely protected while you do so. And this is something that you really need to do for yourself so that you can be more balanced. And that will dissipate the anxiety will dissipate as you move forward and you raise your vibration. Two of Wands and the Five of Wands. So the Two of Wands in reverse is the fear of the unknown. And the Five of Wands is where you are having some tension and conflict in the new avenues that you're going on. And you really want to be back in that peace. But unfortunately, you're suffering in silence and you're not talking about it with anyone. But the Karma card in reverse is telling me that there's been some unfairness, and this is why you're feeling that way. Something has happened that has been brought to light that you are now dealing with, and so you're going to have to walk away from some things that, like I said, no longer serve you and where your goal is. The Six of Cups is telling me that there will be a reunion or some nostalgia going on, childhood memories, innocence. This maybe is where you're going to lose some of your childhood innocence in a way that if you thought something was supposed to be one way and then it's turning out to be something else, I feel that you may be not ready for that emotional jarring journey, and that's where you're getting very upset. Again, it's something that you may need to go through. In here, you're not thinking very clearly. You're acting out a little bit, overly emotional. You could be a little cold-hearted, or the other person can be a little cold-hearted in how they're feeling and what they're thinking right now. It's like they're putting their foot down and they're like, this is how it's supposed to be, and then everyone else has to just kind of adjust to what their thought process is, and that's not really how this works. This has to be a balanced situation. This has to be somewhere where everyone is on the same page. So if you need to step it up and move forward, please know that this is what is being asked of you at this time. Taurus, thank you so much for letting me read for you today. I hope that it resonates and helps you through the month as you move through March. I would love to have you back, so please like and subscribe. Thank you.